Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Welcome to the Blue Morning Show. Welcome to specifically another Chelsea Transfer Show on a Thursday, excuse me for the cough. Today we have quite a lot of topics lined up to talk about. We'll talk about injury update, a transfer update, Datro Fofana, and every other place and some outgoing players. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. More importantly, I hope you're all doing well. Let's get into it immediately as usual. This is the Blue Morning Show, very interactive. It's about you, it's about the panelists. It's not about the panelists alone, not about those in the chat alone, because nobody knows everything. We share the knowledge. It is a community here. And here we have again Danny Music said, let Mendy go. He's a selfish child. It's starting to sound like it. And I remember somebody talking about how a journalist asked them again if really he needs to work on his distribution, and he said no, he doesn't think so. Even again, that shows you like again he's an egotistic individual. When that's not the case, usually when somebody says such to you, you say, well, I'll look into it. If that's the case, I'll start working on it. But again, his response shows he's arrogant, really, if I'm being honest. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. And Danny Music says again, trying to offer him a 6-year contract when he is 29. He's hell nah. Again, we need a better goalkeeper. Again, to get a world class keeper and get Pickford as backup. Job done. I don't think backup, again, if you're using the term backup, I don't think Pickford is your man. He's an English international and wouldn't accept being playing second fiddle or maybe being the second choice goalkeeper at Chelsea Football Club. I think even if we're being honest, he's better than that. And if you're just joining, please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. A lot of delicious topics to talk about today, and I hope you're ready for it. Some good news anyway. Just quickly, let me quickly send link here in the feed. I thought I already did. What did I miss there? Just 1 second. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. There you go. I've sent it now. Oh, the wrong link is what I'm sending, really. I sent it, so that was my fault. Copy. There you go. There you go. The link here. I had the wrong one on my cursor, so I sent it twice now. Yeah, again, that shocked me, and but I knew before time that he was going to leave Chelsea Football Club anyway, because the truth remains, I don't see the possibility of him regaining the number one spot, given how well Kepa like a did on the again since Graham Potter took over. He's better again at distributing the ball. He's also better at commanding his area. Even though Mendy, you could argue Mendy is better. Mendy is better. I can't say his name this morning. Better equipped to be able to command his area better than the Paris Balaga does, but he hasn't done that. If anything, again, his form is dropping even further down south by the day. Blue morning, Kachila, and the panel says, my brother Liam Ling. Blue morning to you too. I hope you're doing well. Yes, yes, people, please. Again, we're doing good with the likes as things since we resumed streaming again. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes help us reach a wider audience. So thank you so much. What a nice birthday for David Datro Fofana having his medical today. So welcome to Chelsea and happy birthday. Yeah, what a birthday gift. You get to again on your birthday you're having the medical to become a player for a club you love so much, for a club where the player in Didier Drogba that you idolize plays for. So yeah, so there's no bigger birthday gift than that one. Yeah, again, here we go. Yeah, I'm happy about that news. Indeed. Let me see again. Just saying hello to each other here. If it is true, Mendy turned down a 6-year contract plus the comment, the accompanying comment that says again he feels disrespected. To me, it shows has again he has ego problem. A 6-year contract. Then good luck to him. at his new club. Again, it's not like there isn't better goalkeepers out there we can get. That's just the truth. And plus, again, his recent run of poor form um, clearly shows. I think it's gotten to that measure where before it changes, he has to change clubs. Even that might not actually help. It just looks like he's in a downward spiral. Again, no return for him. Again, at the World Cup, again, we still see some high profile. We still did see some high profile mistake by Edouard Mendy. Okay, I've done that. Let me know if you haven't seen it. Let's see what else we have here. Big up to you too, Hashim. Niaz, a lifetime Chelsea fan, 16. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. The future is bright for Chelsea Football Club. Indeed, and I did say that yesterday. I'm not concerned about, again, the future of the club. I'm concerned about the immediate future of the club. The way things are going are really concerning to me. Yep, I have to be honest. So there you go again from Fabrizio Romano. He says, exclusive, David Datro Fofana to Chelsea. Done a deal. Here we go. There's full agreement between all parties. Deal sealed. Been told medical tests will take place today in London on his birthday. So this is a day in his life that again he will never forget. Born in 2022, Ivorian striker will join Chelsea from Moldy for 12 million euros. That's less than, again, that's probably nearly. I don't know. I don't want to start doing the calculation here. Less than 10 million pounds. Yeah. But then again, Chelsea fans, I've already started seeing some comments in the Twitter sphere suggesting that he's not good enough for Chelsea. And with that, I'm saying probably because we didn't pay, again, we didn't pay anything, we didn't pay like 20 million, 30 million, 40 million for him. That's why people probably, you could say, not taking him seriously. But if you've seen his highlights, um, you'd see how good he is. Really, again, he's not your basic. He's not your basic. It's not your, how do I phrase this? It's not your basic striker. He's got, again, he's well equipped to be more than just a traditional striker. He's capable of playing on the flanks. He got, again, near perfect close control, good dribbling skills, and his finishing isn't about power. It's about finesse. And more importantly, something I like about, again, something that I usually look for in strikers is that he's not selfish. The goal scoring, again, for him, it isn't just about him. He always looks for his better positioned teammates to make sure the team scores. So it's a good one for us. It's one that, again, a lot of people will be surprised at how productive he will be for us because he's well equipped to do well, and I'm happy for him. He's physical, he's tall, and again should be able to achieve a lot at Chelsea Football Club. So this one, I'm excited about it. If you're in the chat, let us know how happy you are that we've secured the signature of David Datro Fofana, DDF. What a name. I like how Everett saying his full name sounds. David Datro Fofana. And we have two Fofanas in our team right now. Welcome. Hashim, please like and subscribe if you have not. But I'm sure he's already subscribed because this is not his first day here. Thank you so much, guys. Again, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'm going to say something that I did say yesterday. As much as I agree that Makoko from Dortmund is a fine player, I still think there's no need getting him. If we have Datro Fofana and Armando Broja will still come back from injury, we'll still have Aubameyang, who I believe can do better if we get, again, a good midfield that will get him the supplies or double the supplies he's gotten from us. I think he'd do better. So I don't see the need for us going for Makoko. That would be, again, a needless spending. But again, I still believe Dortmund can convince him to remain at the club beyond the coming season. My brother and my friend, Tobago, how are you doing, bro? Okay, let me know when you start talking. Then, okay, go ahead. How are you doing?
I'm good, enjoy you.
Brilliant, brilliant. I can't complain. I can't complain. What a signing this is for us. I know a lot of people don't value it that much because we're paying less than around, again, if anything, the most would be £10 million. I don't want to start doing the calculation. Your thoughts on the signing, on us securing the signature of David Datro Fofana?
Okay, to be honest, coach,
Mm-hmm.
I rather say like we buy him now than buying him after 2 to 3 years for 90 million. So it's a very good signing. Hopefully, he can come in and then impress Grandfather to avoid going on loan. But again, it's up to the club. But overall, I'm so happy we signed this kid because like he have a good potential. Now it's up to Chelsea Football Club to develop his potential into a good thing. So overall,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy. I'm done of signing big name players. They end up flopping at Chelsea, and then the other thing about big name players, at Chelsea they tend to have a lot of pressure. But these kids they don't come with pressure. They come to Chelsea just to have fun to play football. So overall, I'm happy. Hopefully, this kid will be successful at Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, I think it will be successful, and it's something you said that's very important to note is that, again, big name players, again, plus, again, the amount we pay for them. Two things. Again, their pedigree alone is an added pressure to them that they must perform at Chelsea Football Club. The money we pay, the out of this money, again, we usually pay for the big name players or for the hottest properties in Europe. Usually adds pressure to them to perform, to measure the amount of money, to put out a performance that measure the amount of money we pay for them. So for this guy now, everything is on his side. We did not pay too much. The expectation isn't too much. I think he will deliver at Chelsea Football Club, and that makes me very happy. Again, unfortunately, to some Chelsea fans, they've developed that mentality that if we don't pay anything, not 30, 40, 50, they don't again believe that that player is good. And that's one thing I'm happy about. Even though I'm so concerned about the immediate future of the club, I'm very happy again with the direction that the club is going, given that we have a very solid foundation in terms of structure, in terms of having a lot, again, a crop of young players who when you look at them, you recognize they're the best in Europe, in the whole world, really. And in a year or two, they'll be mature enough to join the team and become part of the first team. So I'm happy. He's a good signing for us. Plenty clubs, but good players at a good price. So why can't we, even City, again, pick up players that don't cost a lot of money? Yeah, again, it makes sense. The good players don't have to be expensive. Again, it just takes a good scouting work, good research to find, again, to pick up a gem where too many people don't know too many things about that player. And then, yeah, they start firing in all cylinders. Haaland didn't start firing in all cylinders. He was somewhere and in a club, again, and Dortmund looked, not Dortmund, actually. He played for one other club before joining Dortmund. I don't remember. So it's just good scouting work, and we'll be good, and we'll start spending again lavishly or necessarily. So yeah, again, welcome Kachila. Again, a long time enjoying the stream. Chelsea women in Europe tonight. A big up, Blues. Yes, again, they are doing us proud. Emma Hayes and her again, and the women's team again. They're so good to watch, and again, they've been a very, very, you could say, they've done quite well in Europe, especially this current season. I hope they win the Champions League this season. So I'm happy for them, really, and given how well they're doing. We want all the attackers. It's so ridiculous trying to think how they were all fitting. Yeah, exactly. That was why I say since we've gotten Datro Fofana, we still have an Armando Broja who will come back from injury. We still have what's his name, Obama, and so I don't see the need of getting Mokoko. It's just one of again getting him for the sake of again for the fact that he's good. And then how are we going to accommodate them all? If we do that in a bit, we'll start having issues, and then we'll probably come to this decision to let some of them live alone, which I don't like really. It is ridiculous indeed. They only want the only way, again, I can see them all play in a classic quarter 3-5-2 with wingers at wing backs. Yeah, which some people are calling that we should switch up this the structure to accommodate more attacking players that we have at the club. So thank you very much, guys. If you're just joining, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This one here, winger Hakim Ziyech, wage demand of 7.8, 7 to 8 million euros a season are an issue for AC Milan, who only wanted to offer that kind of money to Rafael Leao. Yep, a player they want to keep, a player they know in a year or two, they get more, again, a sizable fee from his sale because clubs do want him. But that's, by the way, Tobago, coming to you again. Let's talk about Hakim Ziyech's situation. Some sections of the fan are calling for the club to keep him. I'm going to say something that I've said around, again, about 4 times now. We shouldn't do that. If anything, yes, he did well in Qatar. We should look to sell him now that he did well at the World Cup. If anything, we get a sizable fee from his sale. We shouldn't even consider keeping him. But I think he himself is going to become an issue for us, given that, again, it doesn't look like he's looking to take a pay cut to get the move. If you're there, again, when you're ready to talk about Hakim Ziyech, you let me know. And if you're in the chat, let me know what you think about Ziyech. Do you want the club to keep him, or do you want the club to let him go? For me, I really want us to let him go. I don't think his mind is at Chelsea any longer. Your thoughts, Tobago?
Yeah, I agree with you, coach. Like, we need to sell Hakim Ziyech unless the club convince him to sign a new contract and give him game time to play. But again, if he's not willing to sign a new contract, we need to sell him, because remember, in football, we're in business also. And then look at Man City, how they're smart. They sold Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus for money, and then they get Erling Haaland and that guy Alvarez. Great replacement for them. So at the end of the day, we need to have a clear plan for the future. Like, if our players are not willing to sign a contract, what should we do? We should just let them go and find replacement for them. So I hope Chelsea find a way to sell Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah, and if anything, now is the time to sell him, really. Again, he did well at the World Cup, but we must recognize he's been looking to leave Chelsea for nearly 2-3 months now. So if the opportunity comes for us to get a sizable fee from his sale, we should just do that. And no sentiment at all. If we keep him, I think we will regret it again. Time will come around and he will start complaining about game time. And his fanboys, those that like him, I like him too. But I think he should move on. Again, go play where again he gets the game time, gets to play in his preferred position and start doing well again, because he's a truly good player. But I'm not subscribing to the idea of the club keeping him just because he did well at the World Cup. No, I don't think it will work for him at Chelsea. If it does work for him at Chelsea, yeah, I take it. And this is an update regarding Armando Broja. He underwent a successful surgery on his internal ACL. Again, this morning, is this today? Let me see. I think this was yesterday. Yeah, 21st. It was yesterday indeed. I wish him well, a quick recovery. There are other swirling rumors. Was it Nottingham Forest that they wanted to sign him on loan? Which I don't think the club would have let him leave on loan. Actually, the club loves him. They want to keep him. I hope he recovers quickly. And again, he's a fine player too. Having him and Datro Fofana with Aubameyang, the 3 of them, I think, will be all good. In the attacking area, I think we're fine. We should be looking to get players who are capable of creating more chances for us, because common sense says the more chances we create, the more the opportunity we have to score goals. And that is what I want to see, really. Again, I'm not concerned about the attacking area anymore, because you can say we're started in that area. If Ziyech came out and said he wanted to stay, then again, that's okay for me. But I don't think he wants to stay at the club. And looking at, again, at different players. Yeah, we're talking about a player who hopped on a plane, excuse me for that cough, to orchestrate, to try to facilitate the move back to his former club, Ajax Amsterdam. and that didn't work. I think he already talked with AC Milan to. Again, it's not a good idea to even consider keeping him no matter what happens. If anything, we should again take an L, take a bit of an L. And I wouldn't call it an L actually. He's achieved, he's won the UEFA Champions League with us, he's won the Club World Cup with us, he's also won the Super Cup with us. So to me, I'd say again, we've gotten the value for the money we paid for him. We didn't really pay too much. If anything, I think it was 35 to 40 million. If we can get 20 from him, even 15, it's a bargain, really. Given that he wants to leave, that alone cuts the price in half. But that's, by the way, again, I have my brother IBZ in the house. Bro, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show.
Yo, hello. How you doing, man?
Man, I can't complain again. Again, things are fine, inshallah. Thank God for everything. Just quickly, your thoughts on IBZ? I just couldn't do it because I still have issue with my voice after the flu. IBZ, again, let me ask you this, brother. Your thoughts on some of the some section of the fan base calling for the club to keep Hakim Ziyech. I want to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good shout. I mean, his performances in the World Cup. I've always said that this guy, he is not up to speed with Chelsea. I don't think he's up to speed with the league. But people change, you know. I'm not saying he changed over a month in the World Cup, but his performance is something that, you know, that's not going to be written off now. But it depends on him now. His stakes may have been risen. His stock may have rose a little bit now because of that performances in the World Cup. So he can dictate his travel now. He doesn't have to stay at the club. He can move. I will employ him to leave. I still think that the league is too fast-paced for yourself. I'm not saying you're a rubbish player, but I don't think you're good enough for what we want. Again, maybe an AC Milan would take you and he will do well there, or, you know, you go to Spain, you'll probably do wonders there, you know. But I just don't think he fits our style. I don't think the league suits him. But apart from that, I don't think he's rubbish. There's not everyone that can play in the league or Chelsea. So that's how I stand with him. But yeah, they will definitely, his stocks have definitely raised in it, so they will look into that. That'll be looked into. You know, he may have had confidence in the World Cup that he may want to bring back here. You know, he must have lost probably a lot of confidence, and now he's gained it. He's coming back, so he's still under contract, still with us. See what happens. I just want good performances now with those that are there. There's no reason for you not to put in work. If you put in work over the past month in Qatar, put that energy into the club now. So if you're not ready to do that, then yeah, man, just leave, just go. But yeah, with Hakim, I'm a bit 50-50 with it, but ultimately, I do think that you know, the long term, he's not a Chelsea, he's not a Premier League impact player. He's not gonna have an impact on the league, no.
Yeah, again, I still, no matter how well he did at the World Cup, if anything, to me, it's an opportunity for us to cash out, really.
Yeah,
again,
that's a good point.
Yeah, that's how I see it. Just 1 second, let me put up a poll here. Do you want Chelsea? I think I've asked this before. Let me just do it again. To keep Ziyech. Let's see what happens. But I think majority of the fan base don't want him to remain at the club. Some want him to stay because he did well at the World Cup. So good luck to this man. Again, I see him back as he starts out his recovery process. Unfortunately for him, I was thinking that when the season resumes again, he's going to be firing on all cylinders. But he's been quite unlucky. Armando Broja, please again. Pleased to say that I underwent a successful operation this morning. Time to rest up before starting my road to recovery. Thank you once again to everyone who has sent messages of support. Yes, we love you, kid, and we really do want you to do well at the club. I hope that happens again as soon as possible. Let's see what we have here again. Chelsea will sign Datro Fofana from Mendy The deal is in the final stage. I think it's gone beyond final stage. Fabrizio Romano says it's done. It's one player I'm excited to see at the club. And more importantly, I'm happy that we didn't pay over the board. We paid just about, again, £10 million to get into the club. And to me, that's important. I think gradually, even those that are questioning his, you could say, his pedigree, whether he's good enough for Chelsea, I think everything comes down to that mentality of us. Again, you'd have to pay big money if the player.
Those that are questioning, him, ask them: are they themselves ready to play professional football? They are questioning another professional football. Are you ready to do the long yards? Are you ready to do a deep test?
Yeah.
Come off that nonsense, my friend. Let's just support the guy that's coming to play for us. People just they talk, just the vex these days. I swear, but yeah, coach.
Yeah, it is that mentality again. Again that behavior again started under the reign of Roman Abramovich, where that mentality we developed that mentality that if we don't pay big money, then the player must not be good. I think that will change by force. We're talking about a group of owners who are they're willing to pay big money too, but I think they do their research. They get talent. They get players who will fit into the manager's project, and that's what I like the most. So yeah, I'm really not concerned about that. And here, Wesley Fofana is expected to return in 3 or 4 weeks after a new injury in the last friendly game. To me, again, this trashes his Instagram post or Snapchat post which says, yeah, he's be back soon. No, 3 weeks isn't soon. We paid something, and we paid something north of £60 million to get you. So 3 weeks, being out for 3 weeks is a long time, really. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about that, but I hope he overcomes this. He's a player I want to do well at Chelsea Football Club. But with these injuries, again, it's concerning to a lot of people, not just me. Told Chelsea have registered an interest in Real Sociedad defensive midfielder Martin, who again, Zubi Mendy. I don't know this player too much. How about you, Tobago? Do you know him? Let me look up his market value and all that. He's a defensive midfielder. To me, I think the player we should be looking at is Ismail Benessa. And if Benessa doesn't work, we should go to what's the Moroccan international, Amrabat. Again, he's more physical, but Benessa is more a more complete footballer than Amrabat is. But yeah, I don't know. Tobago, do you know him? Do you know Martin Zubimendi well?
Yes, I know him.
How does he compare to Amrabat and Benessa?
You can compare him to Sergio Busquets of Barcelona. That's why he's being linked to Barcelona, because they want to replace him. They want to replace Sergio Busquets with him. So he's a good midfielder.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
Now I was saying if they're comparing him to Busquets to me is not my ideal defensive midfielder. He has good distribution, but defensively he's not the best really, or protecting the defense. I'd rather I've done my research. I think of all the midfielders we've been linked with. If we're talking about the ideal DM, a player who's capable of fulfilling the DM role, shield the defense very well, still able to progress the ball, carry the ball well, distribute the ball well, and every now and then create chances from deep the midfield. I think Benessa is our man. He tackles the clean, he reads the game very well, dribbles his way out of tight spaces, close control and all that. Even there's a chance if he comes to Chelsea Football Club, his numbers in terms of, chance creation may increase. And he has just 2 years left on his contract, right? And they're trying to keep him now. And AC Milan, they don't pay good salary. If you're comparing what they pay players to what clubs like Chelsea pay players, they don't pay that much money. So we should try to get Benessa. And if we're looking at, Zubimendi, he's contracted to Real Sociedad to 2027, which means it's not going to come cheap. I know they have his market value here as how much is it? Let me try and find it. 40 million euros. Yeah, so that's probably how much more than which we will be paying for what's his name, the Moroccan international Amrabat or Vanessa, two of which I believe are better defensive midfielders than though I haven't researched him, but if we're comparing him to Busquets, then he's not a man really. But if anybody wants to come in with any again further comments on that, that's fine. If not, I'll move on. Hi again, great to be back again. PJ Kelly, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah,
Have you watched Tonali from AC Milan?
The AC Milan midfielder, right? Tonelli.
It's a midfielder that I like also. Watch him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, so you prefer which of the two do you prefer, Tonelli or Vanessa? To me, like I
Vanessa,
said,
all day long.
Exactly. If we can't get Vanessa, we'd get again Amrabat for even cheaper price, and he'd get the job done. Except again, to me, I'm going to say this again: Vanessa is a more complete player than all the players we're looking at. Even better than again was the Mexican international that plays for Ajax. Again, he's not the most physical really, and I don't think he will reach that level measure of protecting the defense proper or shielding the defense properly for us like we want to, because that's the reason why everybody's sitting on Jorginho thinking he doesn't do much defensively. But let's see what happens. And Obasius Richard Doros says again, talk about Datro Fofana again today. See, I hear today on another channel that Fabrizio Romano confirmed today again that deal is agreed by both parties. Is it true? Yes, it is true. According to Fabrizio Romano, we got a man. Let me see to show you that. There you go, exclusive. David Datro Fofana. By the way, I love saying his name, and it's no difference again from how I enjoy saying Didier Drogba's name. David Datro Fofana again to Chelsea, done deal, and here we go. There's full agreement between all parties. The deal sealed. I've been told medical tests will take place today in London on his birthday. So to me, like we talked about already, this is a day in his life that he will never forget. Again, him doing medical for a club. He's openly confessed how he loved the club. Doing medical on his birthday to join the club proper. To me, birthday gifts don't come bigger than that. So welcome to Chelsea. This is Wesley Fofana. We talked about how he'd be out for 3 to 4 weeks. That's concerning to me. Edouard Mendy. This is an interesting one. Edouard Mendy snubbed a 6-year contract offer because Chelsea are not showing him enough respect over wages. He wants a parity with Kepa Arrizabalaga's pay. We've talked about this before. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you agree with this new 6 years contract? Do you agree with it?
Well, I'm not Edouard Mendy. The truth is, the club has changed the structure of the contract they offer new players. Have you heard of all the players we've extended their contracts? The new players we've signed, it's all 5-1 again, all 6-year contract. So they've changed the structure of the contract they offer the players. Here's the thing: the part that says Edouard Mendy snubbed the 6-year contract offer, I don't have a problem with that. It's business for everybody, all parties involved. It's business for the club, for the player as much as it is business for the club. I don't have a problem with that. Here's where, if this is the truth, if he feels again the club is not showing him enough respect, that's where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with him either wanting again to measure Kepa Arrizabalaga's salary. If he said anything about this, maybe somebody just made this up, then he has a problem, because the last time we talked about again his poor run of form from at the club, when we discussed how he was again averaging a single mistake per game. You remember all that that debate, prolonged debate. We did debate about that for days. Somebody talked about how a journalist asked him, "Is it true that he needs to work on his distribution?" And his response was that, "I don't think so." To me, that shows somebody who's egotistic, somebody who doesn't again take you can say criticism or feedback seriously. And that's dangerous because if you don't believe you have a problem, you can't solve the problem. 50% of solving a problem is recognizing that you have a problem. So that incident with the journalist, plus the part that says because he feels disrespected, again, not showing him enough respect, it simply means he feels like the club is disrespecting him. To me, he has an ego issue. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making him. If you understand what I'm trying to explain here. But IPC, I want you to come in your thoughts on the Mendy situation. I think his priority should be, again, he's still contracted to the club until when? I think 2024, 2025. Let me check it. So I think both parties aren't in a hurry to actually come to an agreement because there's still time for the club. There's still time for him to decide on what to do with his future. Let me look at his contract with Chelsea Football Club. Yep, he's still contracted to Chelsea until 2025. So the club will actually not be in a hurry. So there's a chance that, again, he picks up form and the club decides to keep him because him leaving comes down to the club agreeing to let him go. 2025 is still, again, let's say in 2023, it'd be just two more years. So to me, maybe that may well be what's going on. He's not in a hurry to agree on new contract. The club also isn't in a hurry to offer him something close to or offer him what he's asking because there's still time. IBZ, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, boy, my opinion is very different with this one, man. Like, I don't know how true this is. I saw it as well. I mean, he offers a 29, 30-year-old a 6-year deal. He's still got 2 years on his concurrent deal. Then you now say he rejected it because he feels disrespected. It just looks as if you're trying to create a story. You know, let's call a spade a spade. If Chelsea are in this new project, why would they offer a 29-year-old an additional 6 years on his contract as a number 1 or number 2? Does that look forthright? His position on the pitch. He's second at this moment in time. His second choice to Kepa. So why would there be discussion of him offering a new deal to match the number 1? It just seems like, again, you know, people just trying to. I didn't buy into it. But for the sake of the argument, if you want to just look into that, boy, it don't make sense. I don't think he would say, "Oh, I feel disrespected." Like, you know, who says that? Who says I feel disrespected? And let's call a spade a spade. I will reject it because at the end of the day, if I don't like you, you want to secure me down for another 6 to 7 years on top of the 2 years I have. So you want to tie me down for 6, 7 years?
But we don't know if that includes the 2 years remaining on his current contract.
Exactly. We don't know. That's the whole point. We don't know. But let's just take it for what it is. You want to offer me a 6-year deal. I have a 2-year remaining. So that's potentially, if it's not included, that's another 8 years. You want me to secure, to commit myself in London with this football club for 8 years, the best part of a decade, if that. And you don't want me to have a say in my pay. I have to have complete say in the pay I have to have complete say. I cannot be here. That's the same with Mason Mount. You want Mason Mount to stay for 6, 7 years, but you want the money he's earning. That's his prerogative. That's his right.
You want to tie him down to a measure of salary that probably he'd get the opportunity to earn more if he leaves after 2 years or so. So that makes it an even difficult contract to agree.
Families. Exactly. These people have families. These people have expenses. What you're paying every day is different to what these guys are paying every day. Their bills, our bills is different. You understand? If their bills come to my house now, I feel collapse. These guys' bill is different. The guy does secure his future. You guys, you know, money is not easy. You gotta make sure for the talent for my services, you put me down for a number for one that I can agree to. So I understand if for the sake of the argument, I understand if he's not ready to agree to the same deal for the sake of the argument. But all the reports saying, "Oh, well, I don't want it because Kepa's got a better deal than I have, so I'm not taking it." I don't know. I don't want to read into it that much. because that's just people trying to normal people trying to dictate a millionaire's standing in what they want to earn. I just find it very, very stupid. But in the same in that respect, I don't believe he will come out, and I don't think he's that disrespectful to say, Kepa's earning more than me, so I want.
When you say given again his pedigree, given what he's achieved, he's achieved quite a lot. He's won the Champions League, the Super Cup, he's won again the Club World Cup. He's won the African Cup of Nations. I think the best thing for Mendy really at this point would be to leave Chelsea Football Club, and probably maybe he's considering doing that. I don't think things will actually turn around for him at Chelsea, and I don't think truly, if we're being honest, again, I don't know if you heard everything I said. IBZ.
Sorry, coach.
No problem. I understand that, and that happens.
Given what he's achieved at Chelsea, go on.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it doesn't look like things will change for him at Chelsea Football Club. Clearly, Kepa is the first choice. I don't see that changing really. He only got the opportunity to get the stake.
Mendy needs to leave at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying, when you say it would be best for him to leave the club, really.
Oh yeah, 100%. Of course, you know what you bring to the table. You know your worth. You don't have to sit on the bench because it's for my team and I like you, bro. I want you to put in work and do your thing, bro. Go out there, man. If you're not number one for me, you'd be number one for someone else, and that goes for Kepa and Mendy. If both say, I know they both want to be number one, but unfortunately, that keeper role, you don't have two number ones. You can't have two number ones. You have to have one number one. That's why it's number one.
Yeah, so you change goalkeepers when the person guarding the stick starts underperforming, he has the pedigree to do even better. He has he's well equipped to become to do even better than Kepa Arrizabalaga. So I don't think. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, if he goes, and then we get someone else that knows the role as to back up, or depending on the position or the performances of Kepa, we go out and get a proper number one next season.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the goalkeeper situation is always a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's the goalkeeper. But yeah, Mendy's got to do what is right for him. And if he feels the deal's not good enough for the next 6 years for me to stay as a Chelsea Football Club player and living in London, boy, it's got to be better than this. And if that's his right, that's his right. That's just the narrative where people feel they can dictate that a footballer doesn't have a say in his contract because we have an entitlement of performances is just beyond me. So that's all.
What do you think? What do you think? Since we're still talking about Mendy, what happened really? Because we saw he made a few at least two high-profile mistakes at the World Cup, and at Chelsea, we started talking about it long before. Again, he got injured, and Kepa got the opportunity to take his place. It doesn't look like. Again, what happened? Let me just phrase it that way. What do you think? What would you say happened to Mendy?
Just dip in form. It was just a dip in form, and obviously the dip in form, lack of confidence, and he wasn't. We have two number ones in retrospect, so you ain't got a chance.
Two world-class goalkeepers, yeah.
You ain't got a chance. If you mess up, that number one is going to be taken off you in a heartbeat by another person, and their person might put you on the bench, like Kepa suffered when Mendy came in. So it's just that type of roller coaster he suffered. Probably couldn't handle it as much as Kepa did, and capitulated in his performances. But again, players are professionals. Like these guys will just find another ginger, and by that time they'll get better. So. It is what it is. I just feel that in that period, again, Thomas Tuchel leaving as well, everything just, the structure just fell off for a bit for him. But that's the game, I guess.
Yeah, that's the game. Something that really comes to mind every time we talk about him is something that Emperor said here on the panel, is that it just seemed as if he lost that hunger that he had when he joined Chelsea. To me, it's the same. But
maybe.
Again, if I'm asked to apportion blames, I'd give Thomas Tuchel 90% of the blame, really, given how he handled the selection of the goalkeepers. There was a time when Mendy clearly wasn't doing well. Again, he averaged a single mistake per game, either again when he again through his distribution or lack of concentration or some conceding goals that even a primary school goalkeeper will stop. I think had they dropped him then, he would come to it. He would have, I believe he would have come to his senses. Even Nick Blue then talked about how, I think, let me just phrase it how Nick phrased it then. Mendy needed to be dropped for his own good. Because again, if you don't drop him, I don't think he'd realize he is again his lost form. He needs to work hard to fix things. But Thomas Tuchel kept selecting him, even when it was obvious that he needed to be dropped to the bench. It does help. Yes, he was the number one then, but had Thomas Tuchel done that, I think it would have helped him. But it became an issue because
let me just ask
just quickly, IBZ. If we're being honest, we're human beings. Sometimes when such don't happen, when we don't get punished for our mistakes, we take things for granted, even unknowingly. But go ahead with what you were saying.
So Liverpool's had an up and down season. They've kind of got up there. You see, if I don't know, players like Alisson conceding to Liverpool where they are. I'm not saying he was the reason why they conceded or it was the mistake. What if they dropped Alisson for the remainder of the season until the World Cup and they brought in, I don't know, Adrian? Would that have made sense to people? Do you think that would have, dropped Alisson and bring in Adrian? It don't make sense, does it? Because they're not in that luxury. We have the luxury that we have two number ones. So the narrative of because of his form, dropping bringing another one, that's a luxury that doesn't happen. You don't get that luxury. We can't have that luxury, and that principle will still have to be mandated. And that's what Tuchel was on the premise of. You don't just drop a goalkeeper because of form, because obviously that's why he's the number one. We are in a unique situation that we have two goalkeepers that are number ones in their right. They are number ones. None of them are number twos. Kepa was a number one before he left. Mendy was a number one before they left. They just happened to come and they're fighting for the same spot. So the narrative to say, okay, because of that, we needed to drop him. It wouldn't have been healthy. It can't have been healthy. Obviously, it's understandable because obviously we had two number ones, and if one wasn't good enough, we had to bring on the other one. But that is not something we can be doing moving forward. Because again, if we bring in another goalkeeper, if he has bad form, he will need to stay. And he will need to stay. We're going to bring in someone that's not as quality as the number one goalkeeper to take his place because the goalkeepers had bad form. Can you imagine if Edison had a bad form? And Ortega will probably do a good job because he's got quality. But I'm saying, can you imagine Edison being dropped for Ortega, Edison being dropped for half of the season because of? If
we really want to talk about that,
the whole world will be at his feet to grab his services as soon as possible. You know what I'm trying to say? That would be it can't be done. But we are in a unique situation, and we need to get that sorted ASAP.
If we really want to talk about that, you could say Liverpool, they had the same issue with carriers. The high-profile mistake, especially one in the Champions League final and all that. They had to even sell him. And sometimes, again, it comes down to, selling the player will be good, for the club and the player himself. I think Mendy needs to leave. I think you could say he probably is looking to leave already because he doesn't see a way back, except if the season resumes. Again, he takes the place between the sticks, starts doing well, and then improves on his distribution because that's one thing he will never measure Kepa Bolaga is the distribution. Kepa is way better, in terms of distributing the ball. But that's by the way. But IBZ, being honest, don't you think Thomas Tuchel didn't help matters either?
Yeah. I mean, it's for people to pick and debunk and find out. I just believe there was a whole lot of problems that Thomas Tuchel had to deal with as opposed to the form of Mendy. Yes, we could argue, when Mendy was showing a little bit of form or Kepa was showing a little bit of form, you didn't stick with one. But again, because of that same principle of number one is number one, whether or not the number two has a brilliant goalkeeper. And in this situation, Kepa was the number two. It was just the fact that the number 2 came up and stood up and gave a good performances. So what we're now saying is because the number 2 had a good performances, the number 1 should sit down for a bit while the number 2 carries on his good performances. So what happens to the number 1? It just can't suffice, coach. You have to take those steps. Those are the risks. That's why you get paid big bucks to make those decisions. One has to go, one has to stay. And Kepa had to stay, Mendy had to go. I'm sorry, Mendy had to play, Kepa had to stay and sit on the bench. Obviously, when AFCON went, Kepa came in, took the realms well, but still, you're still number 2, my guy. Well done, but you're still number 2. You kept it warm for the number 1 guy. That is the role. So obviously, we now put blame on the manager because this perceived number 1, one's doing well while one's not doing well, and you bring in, it's all confused. So he's damned if he doesn't, he's damned if he don't. So I it's one of them ones. It's a catch-22, that one. It is.
Yeah, and again, I feel bad for him because he started well at Chelsea.
Exactly.
But
I just want him at this point. I want him to find himself a better club, get yourself playing football again, saving goals.
Yeah, maybe things will change. Yeah. Maybe things will change for him. Then let me get what we have in the chat again. And Tobago, remember, whenever you want to comment, just let me know. PJ Kelly says Ziyech should only stay at Chelsea if only his performance improves. If he wants to stay and if Potter wants to keep him, all these conditions have to be met for Ziyech to stay. If you ask me, I get it. To me, Ziyech is a fine player, and I don't think he's done badly at Chelsea Football Club. I'm going to say this, but because I'm being forced to say it with the comment I'm reading, because I'm addressing your comment, really. Under Thomas Tuchel, there was a time he picked form. There was a time he was scoring goals, assisting goals, improved physical. Again, his physical aspect of the game. He was able to deal with the physical aspect of the Premier League quite well. He was tracking back, defending, creating chances. He was our best player at that point. And boom, Thomas Tuchel dropped into the bench and was fielding players who were in poor form then. So, but right now, I want Ziyech to leave the club. As much as it'd be easy to be selfish, to say, I want the club to keep him, given the fact that he did well at the World Cup. No, if anything, I'd want the club to sell him. I want him to leave the club to go where he can excel. And plus, if we're being honest, I don't think he'd like to stay, continue at Chelsea again. After all, he's won the Champions League at Chelsea, he's won the Club World Cup, plus the Super Cup. Let him just move on, go where things will work out for him. But I don't want to get into the argument. People just, again, are unnecessarily blaming him, thinking he's underperformed for Chelsea. No, he probably only started underperforming or started looking like he's disinterested or doesn't want to be at the club when Thomas Tuchel tried treating him unfairly, if we're being honest. Zubimendi can actually sprint the way your average midfielder. Okay, he's not as slow as J5, Kroos, and Busquets. So he's the perfect Jorginho replacement, and therefore we should turn our noses up at him. Again, if you say that, like I said, I don't know him too well, but my argument was that if it's being compared to Busquets, then he's not the man we want. I'd rather, to me, of all the players, midfielders we're looking at, and I've done my research for, I still prefer Benessa. If anything, if it's not Benessa, we should go for Amrabat. Those are very physical players, especially Benessa. His physical reads the game quite well, good passer of the ball, progresses the ball very well, carries the ball very well, and all that. I think he's the top notch. At the top, he tops the list for me. But the question is, the club's priority, we don't know. Here we go for Datro Fofana. Yes, again, we've talked about that. Congratulations to us. We've gotten him. I'm happy for how much we've gotten for Centurion. And Mokwaire, thank you so much, my Niger brother, for joining the show. And if you're watching, if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the video. Let's try to get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. That will go a long way for the channel. Christian Davis says, afternoon to you too, brother. It's been a minute. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Get another goalie. I don't know the situation. If the club trusts, what's his name, Gaga Slonina, I don't think they'd be looking to sign another goalkeeper. But for Gaga Slonina, as much as he emerged as one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS during the past MLS season, I don't know how good he is with his feet. And that's critical to the way Graham Potter likes to approach the game, but we'll see. Again, I don't know him that well. I know he's a good shot stopper, but how good he is with his feet, I don't really know. Please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel grow and reach a wider audience. So please keep liking the stream. Let's try to get it to 50 as soon as possible. And the poll, which asks the question, do you want a Chelsea to keep Ziyech? 58% says yes, 44% at this, 56% now, and 44% said no. To me, we have to be careful what we ask for. Just don't be selfish, because he did well at the World Cup. Let him go. It hasn't, again, I don't think it doesn't look like even Graham Potter trusts him. So just let him go and not waste his time at Chelsea Football Club. Christian David says, Mendy has woeful foot control. If I'm being honest, I have to say this. As much as I don't think he measures Kepa Arrizabalaga in terms of, again, his ability on the ball. I don't think we give him good enough credit as to how well he can do with his feet. I think, if anything, he has concentration lapses every now and then. I don't think he's that bad with his foot, really. But we'll see. I knew the goalie would be changed when Potter arrived. You could argue it wasn't by design, because Mendy was already out of the team because he got injured. Was it against West Ham United under Thomas Tuchel, even before we hired a Potter? So again, Mendy was already the goalkeeper that was fit when Graham Potter joined us. So you could argue that gave him the opportunity to show, look, I'm actually better at distributing the ball, and I can actually do well. So it wasn't by design. There's no way telling whether Potter would have, whether Potter would have decided to make Kepa Arrizabalaga the first choice goalkeeper over Mendy had he been fit. So there's no way telling. Potter did the same at Brighton. He does not, again, fit the system. He needs to go. I don't think we should compare, again, even reference Brighton, because Mendy wasn't the goalkeeper at Brighton when Potter took over there. Here's Stav saying that Fofana reportedly taking medical today. Stav, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, and Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. There we go. Again, Ziyech needs a Potter to change to 4-3-3. Forget his form. January, February was great in a 4 versus Spurs. 3 times of Borough and Palace. Okay. They forget he was best player in preseason, all these conditions. Yeah, I get that. Again, I don't want Ziyech to remain at Chelsea. He's a player I like. And I'm not being selfish here. If I'm being selfish, I'd say let Chelsea keep him, because I know what he's capable of doing. If we're looking at the current squad, and we're being honest, Ziyech is actually the best passer of the ball at Chelsea right now. In terms of shooting, he's the best right now. And in terms of, again, like I've said, that passing ability, long range passing, he's the best we have at the club right now. And the difference is that he adds so much pace to his passes that before the opposition players can do anything, the ball gets to its intended destination too. So I know I know how good he can be, but I don't want him to stay at Chelsea. Again, I don't want to see a repeat of where he's not happy. Where obviously, if you see him on the pitch, you know that he probably feels disrespected because he believes he should be starting games, and I don't blame him. So, but that's why I'm moving from that. I really hope Mendy does well at another club. I do hope so too. Maybe he rekindles that fire in him, that hunger in him, that hunger he had before he joined Chelsea Football Club. That to me is simply what's missing from Edouard Mendy. He lost that hunger. And please, I'd like him to recognize, yes, he has a problem. That will help him regain his form. That will help him to start doing well. As long as he starts saying, again, he doesn't think he needs to improve his distribution, he has a big problem, really.
Wait, coach.
Yeah.
Coach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a man that goes to work every day to be told on what he needs to be improved on. And we're running away with the narrative that he told the journalist he doesn't need to improve on said ball distribution. Come on,
yeah,
coach,
to me that's again doesn't reflect well, really. But go ahead.
No, coach. It don't make sense. It's bull crap, in my opinion. How is a man that's supposed to go into work every day? Coaches will tell him, look, And coaches will tell him, coaches will sitting down, they go through video analysis of performances prior, 6 months prior, whatever. And he looks at his performances and he sees that said distribution is not good. And then the coach will sit down, so Edouard, how are we going to work on this distribution? And then you're saying that a journalist asked him, so what do you need to work on? And he said nothing. Come on now, it doesn't make sense.
I think I wish Rodrigo was here. The question was, again, there are talks that you need to improve on your ball distribution. And he says, I don't think so. Even here's the thing: sometimes you leave room for interpretation. But again, that's why people like him, or public figures like him, should be careful how you respond to questions. If anything, even if in the real in a business world, as an employee, every time you get feedback, you get review from your superior that tells you these are the things you need to work on. You don't tell them no. I don't think so. Look, there's something that reflects. This doesn't reflect well on Mendy. It just shows he has arrogance. That's how I see it. But go ahead.
By whose standards? It doesn't reflect on Mendy by whose standards, coach. That's what I'm asking. Is it us that are going off the narrative that he spoke to a journalist, and any journalist, no credible link to Chelsea Football Club? They say Todd Boehly speaking to him. They say Greg Paul speaking to him. They say any of the coaches start speaking to him. But just any mere journalist asking him, what do you need to do? He tells the journalist nothing. And now
the question isn't what do you need to do.
Arrogant.
Do you want me to rephrase it? It doesn't reflect well on him. But that's why I'm not really judging him with that. But I'm busy being honest.
I don't want people to. Okay, people could do honestly, but you know when you form narratives based off non-credible situations, like how are we forming a narrative based off a journalist? Why not form the narrative based off the position of the manager towards him and his performances? You know, it's again. That's why I just feel that this is not Edouard Mendy. I think this is just journalists cooking this up. And
if your point is that you don't think it happened, then that's another story. But if it happened indeed, I get your point now. If it happened indeed, then it's not good. I wouldn't like to do with anybody who feels like a feedback isn't necessary. Critiquing him isn't necessary. It's an issue for me. But let's just assume it didn't happen. But again, I wish Rodrigo were here again. But
I'm going to find it. I'll find it.
Yeah. So let's see. Again, I really hope Mendy does well. I hope so too, because like I've always argued, he's actually equipped to do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga is doing because he's taller and should be commanding his area better than he's done. Unfortunately, from what we're seeing of late, Kepa seemed to command his area better than Mendy has done. In the past, even actually. Loves Ziyech, but needs to go for his own good. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I love him. I know what he's capable of doing, but let's not waste his time. Let's just let the guy go. It's as simple as that. Hello, everyone. Kimso. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. And please, if you're just joining and you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. I appreciate you finding time to join the show. Let me see what else we have here. Again, make sure to subscribe. Yes, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, drop a like on the video. The likes are improving, even though we haven't streamed consistently in a while. The likes are doing better. So if you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Saying hello to Kim. So Zakaria is the Kante replacement, in my opinion. I don't think so, really. I don't think so. If we're being honest, I'm going to say this again. I've talked about that before. I know there's a good player in him, but something has also changed for Denis Zakaria in terms of form. If it was that good, Juventus in the first place wouldn't be looking to loan him to us, let alone sell him to us. And if you're being honest, how many games did he get to play at the World Cup? You look at it and let me know. So again, maybe there's still that good player left in him. I don't know really, but we will find out. Let's see what happens. Again, I guess we're buying players for the future. Please, what about the players we need now? This is a perfect comment, a delicious comment that again explains my concern. I think we're all set for the future, really. The young players we're buying, we're set for the future if we're being honest. We're not gonna again, in a year or two, a lot of these young players will be ripe enough for the first team and will be gradually integrated into the team. But for now, that's a problem I'm concerned about it, but I don't really want to talk about it. I think the club, they'd be smart enough to make purchases in January that help us solve the problem we have, again, for the immediate future, so that would be able, maybe at the end of the season, making it to top four, or at least do better, go find the Champions League, or even get to win it. Never say never. Again, we'll see what happens there. We have to pay attention to the immediate future too. Mendy clearly didn't improve his distribution. His distribution is the least of my concerns. The most, again, you could say, pronounced issues he has is the concentration lapses we're seeing, conceding goals that he shouldn't be conceding. Like I said before, goals that even primary school goalkeepers will stop, really. I've talked about that in a bit. I enjoy reading your comments. Let me see, again, things that are aligned with what we're talking about, and I'll try to get them. Here, again, Mendy is error prone, and again, in terms of that's for me, the concentration lapses. Maybe some errors, actually, unforced errors, that's concerning. And at the top club like at Chelsea, that won't earn him the starting place. There's no player out there that's done that have to improve on some side of their game. So for Mendy to say he doesn't is pure arrogance. That's the thing. That's the only thing. Again, that's the only issue I have.
So
no matter how good you are, no matter how good
you believe Mendy doesn't feel. So you believe, based off that comment, do you believe?
Okay, you know what? The better way to phrase it, IBZ.
Wait.
Let me say, if that really happened, because I haven't seen it. If I'm being honest, if that really happened, it's not okay. Yeah. And I know you agree too. If he did that, it's not okay. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah. So based off that comment there, we said, "Oh, I have nothing to work on." Do you believe that any professional footballer has nothing to work on? Do you believe Edouard Mendy says,
that's
"You know what?
possible.
I've made it." So why would this narrative
possible.
be? So why would that narrative be something that you'll run away with? How can that narrative be sufficable if we all know players have every day they go and improve on things? How can we take out that and say that is the narrative? Oh, Mendy, do you need to work on ball distribution? No, I don't. Who says that? Like, how can we understand the professional?
But IBC, let me ask you this: if he did that, would you say he's okay?
No, of course it's not.
Let's move on from it. And you're right by saying. I think your argument is that if it cannot be proven he said it, we shouldn't be talking about it. I agree.
No, not just that. We can talk about it, but the narrative to say that, oh, even if you told the journalist, I don't have anything to work on, that's his prerogative. Because when he goes back to Cobham, he's got shit to work on. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So whether he says that or not, give a dash. We just need to see the improvements and see you work on it. I understand what you said earlier, though. You said, oh, what you say out there, people are going to take a perception, and it may not bode well for you in how people perceive you. And that's fine, because obviously the way you say to journalists, oh, I have anything to work on, shows a bit of arrogance. But obviously, if I can digest it and just take a step away from the circus and look at it, why would a professional footballer tell any journalist that he has out to work on when you go into every day to work on your abilities? It doesn't make sense. It just looks like as if probably trying to create a narrative so they can run away with it, which is a bit like, oh, and maybe it's even it suits well now because he's probably second on the pecking order. His performances hasn't been well, so you'll pick up this narrative to say, oh, well, he's the one that said that he ain't got all to work on. But it paints it well, doesn't it, Coach? It fits it well, and I just believe that the media can be looked right through. That's all I believe in. Yeah. But other than that, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong though. I do understand what you are.
No, I understand, but it makes sense. If we all agree, we don't have a show. We're here to learn. And again, I agree with you. If there's no way to prove it, bro, here's the thing: if there's no way to prove it, we shouldn't even be talking about it. Even if that wasn't what you meant to argue, I think it makes sense not to talk about it if there's no way to prove it. Because I'm sure you looked for it too. It was Rodrigo that talked about it. And I'm saying if that's the truth, then it's arrogance, like Liam Lane is reinforcing here. If you're watching, please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream. Here's what that doesn't make sense. Usually when you have a poll, you have nearly twice as much as numbers on the poll than you have in the likes. We have just 25 likes, but on the poll, we have 45 votes. If you took a second to participate in the poll, it takes just half a second to drop a like on the stream. Please do help us and drop a like on the stream. Again, the likes do go a long way. It helps. Again, it triggers the YouTube algorithm, which in turn pushes the stream to more people who will be interested in this particular topic. So please, guys, if you haven't, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, good comment there from Liam Lane as usual. Cash in on Ziyech. I agree. I honestly do agree. I think we should cash in on him. Put aside
while his stocks are high.
Exactly.
While
His stocks are high now. Yeah. Because chances are, if we keep him, because we're being selfish, he did well at the World Cup, oh, we need him. Chances are in a month or two, if he doesn't get as much game time as he wants, because he's a big player no matter how you see it, and he knows how good he is. And now there are clubs who are interested in securing his signature. He will not be happy. So just let him go. Otherwise, we'll still witness what we're seeing at points where people start questioning whether he wants to be at the club or not. Michael Ochai says again, we really need our strong Chelsea team back. Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Newcastle are coming up. Honestly, I don't have, again, a mind on our coach and our players. Here's the thing. Getting into top four, it's going to be really difficult. I want my club to be there, but if we're being honest, it's going to be difficult. Arsenal, worst come to worst, they will finish in the top four. Newcastle will finish there because they have the money now. They will strengthen in January. You can be rest assured. Liverpool have picked up form, and I don't think they'll drop form again. They'll probably sign where they have issues. I think they have issue in the midfield area, and I think they'll sort that out. Even Tottenham, I don't see them dropping out of the top four. So we have a serious issue, again, in getting into top four. If anything, we should try and win the Champions League to can participate in the next edition of the Champions League, which is even more difficult than making it into top four. Again, if you haven't, please keep liking the video, guys.
Do you think Mbappe will allow us to win the Champions League?
Oh yeah, again, that's what. Then again, if I just said it's not going to be easy.
I don't think Mbappe will allow it. I don't think Mbappe will allow it. No way.
He will play his best. Again, they were part of the edition we won a year ago or so.
I don't even think Messi will allow it. Messi will just win World Cup. Messi will just lose out on World Cup. Put two those guys together to collabo or more. The whole of Europe don't cast. We're in trouble. Those guys. Mbappe returned to training 3 days after losing. He didn't even take holiday. He's vexed. He's angry.
And plus, Messi extends his stay at the club until 2024.
We don't cast. Paris, you know that France missed out on the final. They're not going to miss out on another final this year. They go enter that final. They go enter that Champions League final. I'm telling you, this year is a. But yeah, you're not wrong, coach. Yeah, we need the Champions League to win if we want to have a chance in next year. But I just say part of the growth is I don't want to put pressure on the boys that you have to win it this year. We're not in the state of Manchester City where the boys have to win the Champions League. They don't have to do anything. What they have to do is give a good performance, pay for the bag, and put in that work. Whatever happens, happens. You know, we are in a different transition. We're not in a place where we need to expect to win the league, win the Champions League like Liverpool, like Manchester City. We are actually, fortunately for Potter, so he's not under that immense pressure, and probably unfortunately for us, because we want that quick success. We want to win now. We don't want to see.
It's something we're used to, yeah.
It's something we're used to. We're just going to have to see how it bolds well. So, you know, I hope the boys give a good spirited performance this year in the Champions League. I think we got an all right team. I forgot. Please don't remind me the team we have to play. Is it Dortmund? I think it's Dortmund. I think it's Dortmund we play in the Champions League. So it's not a bad run. I want it to be spirited, but I won't put the pressure on the boys and say you have to win. This is it. If you don't win this year, you're never gonna see it again. No, that ain't the energy. And I don't think that was the energy in 2021. I think that was 2021. Just go out there and enjoy yourself. And we did it. So hopefully this year we do well, man. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's going to be a long season, really. We have to cross Dortmund first, and they're not going to be an easy one to deal with. If we're being honest, let's talk about exactly Future FC. Let's see. It's widely reported we're looking for first-team players in January. Yeah, that's important. Because if we don't get in some first-team players, especially in the midfield area, we're in serious trouble, really. We're in serious trouble. So it's believable. I think we'll sign at least 2-3 players in January. if we don't want to again find ourselves in the 10th position, or actually 12th to 13th positions by the time the league ends, because that's how bad our team is right now. I hope it doesn't come to that, because he will break my heart. Gilbert Banda, I think this is your first time here. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. If you haven't, please do take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. He says, please try Zakaria. He's a good player. I know he's a good player, but there's a chance he's lost. He's lost, again, dropped from beyond him, again, returning to a level that you can say that measures the level of players that, again, should be representing Chelsea Football Club. I don't know. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. If he was that good, Juventus wouldn't be looking to sell him. And how many games did he get to play at the World Cup? That tells you everything you need to know. Fofana is now a replacement for Broja. Is he a replacement, or maybe we're just signing him to reinforce the team, given that Broja is injured? But I think Fofana, given what I've seen, Broja is a good player, don't get me wrong. I think he's a better player than Broja. That's my argument. Maybe as we get to see him in the Premier League, we'll see whether he'd measure what Broja has done, again, in the Premier League, let alone do better than him. But we'll see. And Tobago, anytime if you want to come in, feel free, please. Again, don't wait for me to ask you any question. It feels illegal at this point, recruiting young stars. I don't think it is. It's a good approach, but I don't want us to overdo it. We need balance. We need the youngsters. We need, again, top name players in world football. They're given the brand Chelsea. We also need experienced players. We need a mix of these three, again, a category of players that I've named. Youngsters, again, big name players, again, who've been there, done that, achieved that. And experience is a different category altogether. We have a few of that. We have Thiago Silva. We have Aubameyang. We also have, again, Koulibaly in the team. Those, again, at this point, we still have Jorginho too. The mix is important. Balance is key. But I get what you're saying. Coach, we will never win the Champions League this season. If we're being honest, never say never. Yeah, exactly. Never say never. The two times we've won it, nobody expected us to. But do I see us having the quality we had then in the team, even the second one and the first one? No, we don't. But never say never still. Thank you for saying that, Tobago. So let's see what happens. Anything else? So addressing Mbappe and Messi wouldn't allow us. Yeah, that was hilarious the way IBZ said it, but that's the truth. Mbappe, after losing the Champions League, he's shown he's, again, one player that's capable of carrying the whole team, even when the whole team is playing rubbish, plus Messi in the team, which you could say the main reason why PSG decided to extend his stay at the club is to help them win the Champions League, because he's capable of doing that. Yeah, it will be difficult. This is their year. If they don't win it this year, then it will take a while for them to win it. No out pressure on them. We have to win the UEFA Champions League. Pressure them again. They don't work. Okay, let's see. I don't see us winning beating Dortmund. You never know. Again, never say never. You're blaming Mendy for Chelsea that was not Mendy's fault. Did I blame Mendy? No. We're just talking about Mendy issues. We're just talking about his form. And if anything, I said Mendy is well equipped to even do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga. And my argument is that, if anything, Mendy lost that hunger he had when he joined Chelsea Football Club. That was my argument. Mendy is a good goalkeeper, don't get me wrong. But something, again, happened along the line that I can't quite put my fingers on it, on them. Again, and then I said, if really he said he doesn't think he needs to work on anything, then that's arrogance, because solving a problem, you have to accept you have a problem first. So I never said Mendy is a bad keeper. I never said, he's the reason that we're struggling. No, he hasn't been between the sticks for us for a while until Kepa got injured. So I didn't say that. I'm just saying there's a problem there, and I think it'd be better for him to leave the club. Let's say, again, it was Tuchel's fault. He was too friendly and comfortable with those players' efforts, again, because goalkeepers' confidence relying on the whole team confidence. If anything, goalkeepers' problems can, again, trickle down to to the whole team and become leading to the team performing poorly. Again, I never said Mendy was the reason why we had the issues we had. No, I just mentioned at one time he was averaging a single mistake per game. In some of those games, we were lucky we didn't concede from his mistakes. Sloppiness at the back, taking too much time to decide on what to do with the ball. Sometimes lapses in concentration, if anything. But that's by the way. Again, please, can someone recommend Drew Yearwood to Chelsea FC? Please, he is Kante. We are missing in the team now. I don't know him. He's not a player I know. I don't know if anybody else on the panel knows the player in question. And I hate pulling out information from my wazoo and throwing it out at the viewers. I don't know him, so I'm not going to talk about him. Maybe I need to research him. Who are the players to play against Dortmund? Stalin, Alba, or who else? Pulisic. Stalin, again, he's been awful, really, for Chelsea. After a good start, I don't know what happened. Again, if anything, he attempted 100 dribbles, and again, didn't complete 99.9% of those dribbles, and he continued that at the World Cup. Actually, I'm concerned about that team. Mason Mount, and again, he's dropped form. He didn't play that much at the World Cup. That's concerning to me. Let's see. Again, I think we have good enough players to beat Dortmund. I know on paper it doesn't look like that, but again, with a good tactical approach, a good structure that brings out the best in the players we have, I think we're capable of beating them. I don't know him really, but I'll research him given that you've mentioned him. Beautiful game. Nice to see you here. I hope you're doing well. If this is your first time, please take a second, drop a like on the stream, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. The experienced players in this team are flops, which means you're including Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Jorginho, N'Golo Kante. Those are all experienced players we have in the team, plus other players probably I haven't mentioned. So I don't think it's okay to just generalize and say they're all flops. They're not. Koulibaly isn't a flop. He's an excellent player. And you and I had a bit of back and forth yesterday, which was good. You think what's his name, Rudiger is better than him. I said I'm not going to go to the extent of saying which of the two players is better than the other, but for me, I think Koulibaly is a more intelligent player of the two, and I can back up that argument anytime, any day. Big up to you too, bro, Steve Chelsea. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show, and I thank you for all the retweets that helps the channel reach more people, bro. You know I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What's up, guys? Again, just finished with work. Good. Escape Me Tracks. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Yes, I understand. Bills don't pay themselves. I was listening to you guys via my headphones while working. Thank you so much. That means a lot to us, and I appreciate that. And if you're watching, if you haven't, please, excuse me for the cough. I'm not fully recovered yet. If you haven't, drop a like on the stream, share the video, share the stream on whatever social media platform where you have, again, presence to help us reach more people. Thank you so much. Big up, just saying hello to people. I don't see any progress at Chelsea for next 1 or 2 seasons. Again, because I see Chelsea is lining for future. Now the question is, will Graham Potter do that? Okay, here's the thing I want to say. I see progress. Everything comes down to approach. It's a transition process for us. We're transitioning from, again, a different team altogether, different way of playing, but it doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be that painful. I know it's going to be a long season. If we approach the transition strategically, we still do well. We still see progress. Go ahead. If you're saying, go ahead. Go ahead, IBC. Okay, it looks like you have an audio. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I just had a little lips in audio. Transition is not going to be. We're going to see the transition of. Oh, we see the progression, but it can't be. It can't be painful. It has to be painful. You have to pain.
But does it? Okay, maybe I have to say that. Does it have to kill us, IBZ?
If you want jump off Todd Milan Bridge, now your business be that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be painful, innit? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be taking you watching performances, watching players, watching results that you're supposed to have in your favor, not be in your favor. That is the transition of watching pain. And you come out of it having learnt from that pain, having learnt from that anguish. You can't watch a transition and say, oh yeah, I see where we're going. No, because you're not waiting. You have to see pain, unfortunately. We have to see pain. We have to see results where, look at what happened in Newcastle. Look what happened in the last game before World Cup. We got decimated. Those are the type of pain we need to see for us to see how we're going to be transitioning into a powerhouse. You need to take those mistakes. You need mistakes in those matches so you learn from them. You need to see who messed up there so we don't mess up again next year or in the future. We need to see who's not good enough there so we get rid of him so we know that we do not go back again in future. So you need to see pain. You need to see pain. We do, unfortunately. And we haven't seen pain I haven't. I'm 32. I ain't seen pain.
Well, here's the thing, IBZ, the question you have on the inside, I understand. It's going to, you've always pitched it. Since the time we signed, again, we hired a Graham Potter. Do we have to die in that pain? Can it not be managed? Can it not be managed? If we're being honest,
it is. It's managed by a hierarchy that's going to make sure that the performances are not in a situation where the club is in, I don't know, turmoil. But yes, on the pitch, it's going to have to go through rocky roads. It's going to have to go through, oh my God, we lost this one again. Oh my God, we lost this one again. Oh my God, we lost this one again. Yeah, because we need to drum in our heads while we're losing. We need to drum in our heads how we're going to improve on those losses. And we're going to drum in our heads how we don't go back to that and we go 10 times stronger than that. So yes, we have to go through the transition of pain. So that next year we look at our losses. Look, I'm not saying Arsenal will win the league. I'm not saying Arsenal are the second coming. But the model that forget Arsenal, Liverpool. Liverpool went from a period of pain, a period of going so close to winning the league to not even touching it again for another 6 years.
Obviously, you're not answering my question. The question is, do we need to suffer that much? I agree. Suffering is part of the process. It's part of
We're not saying suffering for 30 years. We're not saying we're going to suffer for 30 years. We don't have we have an ownership model and a backing model and the team that's been put together that we will be challenging. We will challenge sooner than later. But the idea that you want us to we don't have to go through it. We'll just by tomorrow we'll be fine. No, it's irrelevant. We're going to have to suffer this season, guys. We may not get the results we want. We may lose out. We may lose out on the Champions League. These are the pills we'll need to swallow so that those in place will learn from lick their wounds so that next year we go 10 times stronger. That's why we have narratives already, like you were saying yesterday. I don't want us to, if we're not going to do it, I don't want us to get into no Europe because we want us, that type of mindset is already saying you're already conceding to the fact that you don't want, you're conceding to pain, knowing that you will go harder when you come out of the shadows. You're conceding to the fact that we're not going to get Champions League. You know what? I don't even want Europa League. I don't want to finish in the top 10. I want to finish out of Europe so that we can come back stronger. So we're already ineffectively conceding to that pain. Do you know what it is to miss out on Europe? Do you know what it is to miss out on Conference League? You need to have a Manchester United type season for you to miss out on that. The one that they had with Ranić. You need to miss out on that completely. Are we ready to swallow that? I'm ready.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's a lot of pain to swallow. So for us to, if we're going to perpetuate the narrative, okay, you know what? If we're missing out on Europe, I don't want Europe complete. I don't want Europe at all, so that it makes us stronger next year, where we don't focus on that and that and that. Mm. If we're going to concede to that narrative, that is the same narrative of us conceding to the fact that we're going to have a lot of pain this year. Because for us to finish out of those places, there's going to be a lot of L's, not just the one we've taken, but more to come. Yeah, big L's at places where we're supposed to be winning. And if you want to accept that narrative, oh yeah, you know what, this year's a write-off and I don't want Champions League next year because, I don't want Europa League next year or Conference League next year because that's not as good enough. It's Champions League or nothing, then this is where we will be. So I what you've just said there, I totally get it. How long do we suffer for? And I know, and I guarantee we won't suffer for long, but we do need to suffer for us to see the good out of this in the future. And if that narrative again is, oh, I don't want Europa League, or I don't want Europa Conference League, which will inevitably mean that we finish in that top 10 position, probably 9th, 10th, then we will suffer the pain.
I'm going to say the thing again. I get your point. My point really is, again, it's like managing an ailment. Where
but not ill, though.
Sure, where no matter what you do, it remains. All you can do is manage the ailment. My point is that we should manage it to an extent where come the end of the season, we shouldn't be in the 18, 17, 16, 15,
we're not
or
even
even 10th position.
We're not going to be there. But
yeah, exactly. I hope that's the case. That's my point. But again, from what we're seeing, it just seems as if we're not able to manage it for the damage to be again mild, if you want to put it that way. But go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off again, yeah. I've had a few discussions with Chelsea fans about this transition, and it's fear mongering. So a lot of Chelsea fans like to fear monger. When I say pain, I don't mean relegation pain. We don't have, for our standards, we will never get to relegation. Just pull it at that. Graham Potter will see the back door before that happens. Yeah? So don't worry about that. We're not going to see relegation. But to our standards, pain is not where we are used to being. We're not going to be probably in the top echelons of the league fighting for it. We're going to have other players, other teams taking our place, i.e. Newcastle, who have what? They've gone through their own pain in their own right. They've brought in a manager who's steered them to the direction of
Newcastle. If you're using Newcastle as an example, I disagree. Why?
No.
Because their process have really been seamless. They're ahead of their project, really. But go ahead.
They are very ahead of their project. They are very ahead of their project. They're probably 2 years ahead of their project or a year. But in that same respect, they've had their own problems with Mike Ashley. They weren't even competing for anything, let alone an identity in the league. Okay, PIF comes in. Okay, we need a manager that's going to steamroll us through to our new transition. And yes, it wasn't easy at the beginning because of what Steve Bruce had done. They were in the relegation zone by Christmas. They've come out of it. They finished top half of the season, 9th, if I'm not mistaken. So again, you can argue that it's quicker than what a transition may be or so, but same way. We need to have that same mindset. Again, I'm not saying we're going to be relegated. We're not going to be relegated. Let's not fearmonger our fans.
I don't see that happening.
When we're saying transition, we're not going to be relegated. Arsenal couldn't even get relegated in their worst start to a Premier League. Why are we going to get relegated? It's not going to happen. Yeah, but what we do want to understand is that it's not going to be from our standards, from where we used to be punching. Yeah, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, we probably won't be punching that. Right now, we'd probably be punching with teams that we're supposed not to be punching with. Teams like Leicester, teams like Brentford, we might be punching with them to fight for places. Why? Because probably we ain't been ready enough this year. And playing teams that are in their gears, like the Newcastles, like the Arsenals, they're going to be, putting in the work. And it's fine. That's the pain I'm ready to take. So next year, from the beginning of pre-season or before pre-season, we're doing wonders because we're not going to sit on this. We're going to look back on this and say we're not having this again. So I want us to by the end of the season, by the end of May, beginning of June, we're already making steps towards the new season, like Arsenal did, like Tottenham did, like Liverpool are doing, like Man City did beginning of this season. So we're not here again 12 months later saying, "Oh, I don't think we prepared well enough, and I don't think we're going to be good enough." No. That's not going to be the narrative. Yeah. So just trust me, coach. Our pain will come, but our pain won't be relegation. Trust me, we ain't gonna suffer pain like relegation.
I don't think I never. Again,
we're gonna suffer pain.
Yeah,
we're gonna suffer pain in regards to our standards, in regards to what we've achieved before. I mean, we're the last English team to win the Champions League. So now we have those standards, and we won't accept anything lower than those type of standards. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to. That's what I'm saying. But we pray for better days. I do have faith in Potter. I have faith in Boehly. I have faith in anything that's connected to Chelsea. We always keep the blue flags like that.
We don't have any option than to support
unless you want to say you want to support Man City for the year. Just come out and say it so we know who you are. Just come out and say it so we know who you are. But other than that, listen, guys.
Chelsea is the entity, is the club we support. No matter who's at the name of things, we must support that club. If you're watching, please, we have 65 votes and we have just 35 likes. That doesn't make any sort of sense. if you took a second to like again, participate in the poll, it takes equally just half a second or at most a second to like the video. Please do like the stream. It helps us reach more people. Dortmund is almost 2 months away. We will be ready by then. I hope so. Bali came to Chelsea during our worst period. Okay. Let me see again. Beatrice, again, this conversation between two people. Dortmund was smashes Bellingham and Cole. Well done out here. Look, I think we have a good enough squad to, again, to beat Dortmund. Even before time, we probably still sign players who would help us beat them. Again, with a good tactical approach and structure, that will get the best out of our players. I think we will, again, move beyond Dortmund. This transition smells like Arsenal. If it was, again, at this point, again, it smells worse than Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Again, Arsenal during the transition period, they weren't this bad, really. There was a time they went back.
Coach, now. Coach, man.
But let's see.
Arsenal wasn't this bad in their transition?
Okay, there was a time they were, but
there was a time they just got good this year, Coach. They just
true,
got good
but
this
again,
season.
but even
excuse my French, they've been absolutely dog wipe for the past 10 years. What have they done? What have they done apart from the FA Cup? What has Arsenal achieved? What have you done? What's the highlight? Your fan base, your top 6 fan base, drove Arsene Wenger out to early retirement. He had to come out and say, "I'm leaving," ahead of his. They've been toxic. Mesut Ozil coming in, Aubameyang coming in, all those guys coming in. Alexis Sanchez. They couldn't do nothing. They cast aside Giroud, called Giroud a waste of space until we took him and made him a useful player. So the narrative that Arsenal haven't been in a transition, I can't accept, because they have been through. I've been laughing at Arsenal for the best part of a long time. AFTV has been on the rise because of the demise of. I won't say they profited off the demise, but the demise of the Arsenal Football Club as a team has been the way AFTV has rose in its voice. Come on, coach. We've seen Arsenal's demise. We've all laughed at it. We ain't even hit the surface of what Arsenal's
I'm reading something in the chat that's killing me. I'll get to it in a bit about how you switch accent. I'll get to it in a bit. We lose against Bournemouth, then like this, we will see the pain. I don't think. Again, there's no telling what will happen against Bournemouth. Graham Potter, he's had a month plus to get his stuff together. If he loses that one, again, we'll have an even tougher games because we still have the same crop of players who seem to struggle against physical opponents or opponents who play high octane football. And the games lined up, Bournemouth they're very physical. Where's the other? Nottingham Forest, they play very high octane football. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll survive them. We'll play Man City twice, and if we lose those 2, it's not good for our confidence. And next, again, in a few days, again, also, we still play Liverpool. So it's tight. I hope he overcomes that. Again, to me, this is the acid test for him. I believe we have good enough players to do better, but I'm not going to say it will be rosy. I think, I'm ready for the ride anyway. Bro, you're making the point. Thank you so much again. 26 years without a trophy, 1971 to 1997. No pain for a couple of years can compare. Patience, people. Here's an OG Chelsea fan, an OG Chelsea fan here, making some sense here. Yes, we have to be patient. But my argument is let's not die in the process. I agree it will be painful, but we don't have to die in the process. Again, like the old saying goes, follow the punch and it won't hurt that much. But if you try to resist the punch, by again going against it, then you're in serious trouble. Again, Arteta won a trophy with Arsenal in his first season. Yeah, you can say lucky. Again, Chelsea 2-4, 2-5 says all these young players were getting and targeting. Will Potter stay long enough to see them play? I think if you ask me, the owners actually probably preferred Potter because they know he's capable of building a unit. He's capable of building a team that plays as a unit. He's the manager, again, a manager with his pedigree, with the measure of his pedigree, because he has a pedigree to a certain measure, no matter how you see it. will be the one to be patient and understand the project very well, understand the club is building for the future, and not look to leave if things aren't working out. To me, looking at deeper, Thomas Tuchel's situation deeper, you'd argue they let him go because he doesn't look like a manager that will stay at the club for a long term, because he had that pedigree that tomorrow Real Madrid could come calling for him and he says, you know what, this is an opportunity I have to take. But there's no telling what really happened. But again, yeah, Graham Potter is here for the long term. He's on a long-term contract. Plus, the ego of those that hired him, they would want to show you that they know exactly what they're doing. They knew what they were doing when they hired Graham Potter, and that it's going to work out. So yeah, they give him time, but that doesn't mean if this starts altering to a dangerous measure, they're not going to let him go, because it is business after all. Let's see what else we have to talk about here. Formerly, Chelsea did the same under Abramovich, going for younger players. Some of them flopped. I hope sacking coaches should not be there, and we have to give time to Graham Potter. I think the sacking coaching era has gone. One thing that would sure you will get under the new ownership is, again, giving managers time. But that doesn't mean that let the managers stay for years if that manager isn't producing results. Yeah, that changes, because if you want to dominate the Premier League, Europe, the whole world again for a stretch of time, you need consistency, at least from a managerial perspective, which means giving managers time to sign the players they want, implement a certain their preferred approach to the game. And again, have you could say consistency that will help us dominate for a while. Without that, we cannot dominate. If you've been honest, we achieved quite a lot under Roman Abramovich, but those achievements came in patches. Just 1 second quickly. I'm trying to catch up on what we have in the chat. You can come in, bro, if you don't mind. Are you okay with that, Tobago?
No problem.
All right, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, Graham Potter will get time, but how much time is enough time? I don't know. Get used to it. Potter is here long term. He has already given Hall 2 consecutive games. Yeah, and Lewis Hall, I've always called for him to be starting games. Did you guys saw news about Luis Enrique to Chelsea? I think that's the media just, making the most of the situation that we've lost how many games in a row, and Luis Enrique probably is available. So it's something that if you see it, you'd click on it if you're a Chelsea fan. And Luis Enrique, I don't trust him tactically, really. I think he's too rigid for my liking. As much as he's the same in the same category of for me, Zinedine Zidane, who had the best squad in the world then and rode on the back of how good the squad is. Tactically, I don't think he is good enough to do one in the Premier League. We hired Potter to not make top 4. That's hilarious, really. I'm not going to go into game, so you haven't changed. This says again, yeah, yes, but some of our fan base used to winning trophies. Yep, that's the biggest issue we have. I agree with IBZ to point, but there's no getting away with the fact with the quality of our squad. We should be doing better. Thank you. I know you're not just saying this because you wanted to support me. That's just the fact. We don't have the best squad in the league or in Europe, but we should be doing better than we're doing right now. It's as simple as that. Go ahead. You wanted to say something, Tobago.
Yeah, I just went to watch that kid, Drew Yearwood. Wow, what a kid, what a player. He's like
what position specifically?
And another. He plays as a 6. Another N'Golo Kante on a high level, on a crazy level.
I'd have to research him. Send me anything you have on him so that I can research him and let's talk about him. Let's see. Well, again, any good player is good for Chelsea again if they're good enough. But if we're talking about DM, we should be looking at the DMs who are physical to be able to deal with the Premier League. These players are not the immediate solution. Therefore, if what we want doesn't work, the pressure on Potter may see him may see him again exiting before he sees the young stars play. I think this is a good comment, really, but I think he has time. If we don't start performing when the league resumes, I think we'll start sensing there's a chance this may never turn around for him to keep his job. But we'll see. I think the young players are here to stay. The young players, if you look at it, signing the young players again is an approach that defines the direction the club are going at this point. Is going at this point, given again they're building for the future. They're trying to build a sustainable, again, to be able to achieve sustainable success. Having young players with again tied down at the club for 6 years. So when they're mature, when they're part of the team, they be together for a while, and that does quite a lot in football. Keeping players together for a long time, you're building a solid team that would dominate for a while. Hall is predominantly a midfielder, but yes, can play left back too. Let me say the wing back position, I enjoy watching him there. I still haven't forgotten how I was screaming at the top of my voice that game he played against Manchester City, the cup game. The passes he was able to orchestrate there, the willingness to take on opposition players, even when he had two players on them. His intelligence as a footballer marvels me, and that's something I sensed during the first game he played under Thomas Tuchel. But I'm not going to go further into that. Again, remember, we went on transition when we won the Champions. That's why I said never. But do I think it's going to be easy? No, it's going to be really difficult. Patience is key, I agree. We need some immediate, maybe temporary fix for better transition and to quiet the noise and for stability. That is a delicious comment right there. The truth is, it shouldn't be as painful. We shouldn't die in the process here. I understand it's going to be a long season. It will be painful. But yeah, we should be strategic about it so we don't end up again struggling, being at the bottom of the table or being at mid-table at the end of the season. We're Chelsea. We should be doing better than that. And yeah, yes, like you, I'm concerned about the club's immediate future. Yes, the future, you could say the future, long-term future is secured and they're still working on it. But we should find a strategy to ensure we don't underperform, because if we miss out of top four, it will be pretty difficult to get back into it. Remember, we're Chelsea, not Tottenham. Excuse me for the cough. Chelsea Football Club. That's the truth. And skip me tracks next week. I am free. Would love to join you guys on the studio. I will write you on Twitter. Thank you so much, brother. I'll be looking forward to your message, and then you're always welcome to join us to express yourself. Thank you so much. That will make me happy. Let's see again. It's really funny how my Nigerian brother, yep, I love that. IBZ again. That's not easy. Transit from UK accent to Niger Pidgin. That is, if he wants me to get the point as a Niger man myself, he breaks it down. And I love it whenever he does that. Let me see anything else. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom of what we have here, except if there's anything to address. Our process are different, not like Arsenal trusting the process for years. Yeah, we don't have to, again, be in the dirt for years. It's something we need immediate solution to some of the existing issues that are pronounced issues we have at the club. For instance, signing a creative midfielder, again, central midfielder that will, again, achieve double digits in terms of chances created by the end of the season. That way we have chances to score even more goals. Let me see what we have here. Luis Enrique is better tactically than Potter. I haven't seen enough to draw that conclusion, but I'll do that when time allows. Again, Potter is working on the back four. That's a progress, unbeaten in 11 games. Then a spate of injuries. Let's not underestimate Potter's work. UEFA Champions League was condensed in 5 less. Again, that sounds to me like you're making excuses for him. If we're being honest, that woeful loss against Brighton was long time coming, because we won some of the games we shouldn't have won. Some we should have lost. Some we shouldn't even be getting a draw from. But that masked the issues we had then. And if you paid attention, the defenders and the goalkeeper, those were the best players in some of those games. But he wasn't paying attention. It doesn't look like he paid attention to them. Even at the fan base, where you could say the fan base, you could say was still under the influence, raving about the unbeaten run, but weren't paying attention to the existing issues that were apparent then, if we're being honest. Lewis Hall should play in midfield. Yeah, we're stacked there. If he plays, I'd like to see him in midfield. I haven't seen him in the midfield. I sent DM Kuchila. Thank you for so much, bro. I'll look at it in a bit. I think I've copied it to the screen and we'll show it in a bit. I'm not concerned as of 2024-25. More places could be open to English teams, or up to 6. We will miss UEFA Champions League once. Okay, I hope that's the case. And then I'll call you a prophet if that ends up being the case. I hope that happens. Let me see, look at the updates. Okay, that one is to watch a video for the kid we talked about. Andrey Santos, oh, excellent. Some good news here. Just give me a second. Tobago, you have anything else to say why I tried to put, again, I think I want to put up a poll quickly. Oh, it's just me. Tobago has left to, just give me 1 second. I'm trying to move this to where I'm going to use it in a bit. Let's see. So yeah, people, we have 35 likes. We should be doing better than that. It's a shame that the poll has 71 votes. So why do we have just 35 likes? We should be doing better. We should be doing better than that. So please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate all your support. Again, I'd be again, yeah, how do I say it? I'd be ungrateful not to thank you for all the likes. The likes do go along with. Please take a second, drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Let's get it done with this one. So I was here. So let's complete the Edouard Mendy discussion. Here, Edouard Mendy snubbed the 6-year contract offer because Chelsea are not showing him respect over wages. Again, he wants a parity with Kepa Arrizabalaga. That happening, I don't see that happening. Edouard Mendy wants parity with Kepa Arrizabalaga, with Kepa earns, which is close to £200,000 a week. A source told some Sports Edouard Mendy has won some huge trophies for Chelsea, but there's a sense he is not being shown enough respect by the club over a new deal. Well, I've made a video saying, again, mentioning that that's one of the reasons why I think if they live in the club. And then Chelsea withdrew their initial offer of a long-term deal to Edouard Mendy as they play hardball with the negotiations. And now the standoff, AC Milan, Monaco, and Nice are monitoring the situation. I'd say let him leave. Again, that's me, and I'm being honest. The way things are going for him at Chelsea Football Club, him regaining the first spot will be very, very difficult. Just quickly, let me catch up with what we have here. It says, again, please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel grow and reach a wider audience. Again, I can't say it better than Liam Lane just said it there. And it doesn't make sense that we have 73 votes and just 37 likes. We should have more likes. People, please do me a favor. Drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Fofana to Chelsea, here we go. Yes, now, Fawale, we've seen that, and that made me happy. Excuse me for the cough. Now, I don't want to see Arsenal and Spurs in the UEFA Champions League. They ain't good enough. You think so? I think they're good enough at least to make it to the top 4. Yes, people like the damn video. 38 likes. Let's get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. There's a new coach who knows just one player. They also need to understand him. And he then, no excuses, a bum coach, again, doesn't beat the Italian champions twice. No, I got to give him credit. The way he beat AC Milan, that's no easy task. That's the truth. Again, they don't have the history to go back themselves. Let me see anything else to address here. Again, smash the like button, people. Let's get it to 50 as soon as possible. We just at 38 likes and 74 votes. Still, that doesn't make sense. Come on, guys. 74 votes on the poll. And again, it takes just a second to drop a like on the stream too. So please help us do that. So we move on. Understand, again, Graham Potter has been really impressed with Connie Chukwuemeka over the World Cup break. The 19-year-old has featured 3 times for Chelsea so far, but could save the club millions in the January transfer window. We don't even need to talk about this, really. How much we paid for the kid, 16 to 18 million? I'm not sure how much exactly. Paying that much money for a player who's as good as he is, and at one point played in a friendly where he came off the bench to score 2 goals. And the little was seeing him, the cameos was in him, he's shown again he's good at progressing the ball and close control. And again, but the truth remains we're not sure where he fits in again, where how he fits into the team. But is he a good player? He is, and should be part of the first team actually. There's a solid argument actually he's better than some of the players we have in the first team squad. So why not give him a chance to be part of the first team? So, but that's by the way, I hope to see him start playing games, especially again if he's had the time to train and work with Graham Potter again for a month plus during the World Cup. He should be given the opportunity. And you could argue he could have had the opportunity also to start a game and finish a game. But he's been quite unlucky. One was an illness, one was a knee injury or so. I don't remember. So it's not like a managers aren't willing to give him a chance. I think they're willing to give him a chance, but he's been again. He's had an illness and also an injury that probably didn't help his case of starting games. 1 second, let me drink water before take a sip of this water before I lose my voice. That's really helpful. Yes, people, again, we're 39 likes. We should be doing better than that. And 75 votes. That breaks my heart, really. We should be doing better than that. Speculations again. Kepa and 150K. He got that out of necessity. Mendy is still under contract for 3 years or double his range salary. They have no need to offer anything. Where is the disrespect? I don't know. Again, my point is here's something I said already. If anything, the club will not be in a rush to offer him what he's asking or fear that he's going to leave. And even he himself will not be in a rush to be tied down with a 6-year contract if he feels like he can earn more outside of the club. Plus, I think he'd be looking to be starting games. And I think if he's smart enough to sense it that things aren't looking good for him at Chelsea at this point, given Kepa's brilliance between the sticks before he got injured. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to waste my time arguing that. Like you say, that's a chance. Yeah, probably speculations, making the most out of the situation. Yes, I look forward to seeing this young man here again. The only thing that doesn't make me happy, I think he's looking forward to representing England, given his comments, and not Nigeria, really. I really would want him to represent Nigeria. And this one is something, again, a player I don't know that much. I watched a few clips of him. This is Fabrizio Romano reporting that Chelsea are now closing in on Andrey Santos, again, deal. Brazilian midfielder born in 2004 is expected to join the club from Vasco da Gama. Here we go. Personal terms are almost agreed. Deal at final stage. Vasco will receive 70% of the fee as called by Pedrosa. The question is, how much is the fee? I really want to know how much we're paying for this kid. I think he's 18. Let me look at his transfer market and how much they said the value is there. But I doubt that's how much we're paying for. And my friend on Twitter, Jessica, was saying how she's excited again how Chelsea are looking at him, and it's looking like we're gonna seal this one. He's 18. He's from Rio de Janeiro, central midfield, which is an area I think we should be looking to get players at 10 if you want, or a CM. Joined Vasco da Gama in 2021. Okay, contract expires in 2027. Market value says to be 5 million euros. To me, probably, again, I don't think that's how much we paid for. Probably we're paying much more. But unfortunately, Fabrizio Romano isn't saying the exact amount of the exact fee that we're paying for the player. From what I see from the highlights, but usually I hate to just come to conclusion and start talking about how good the player is just from highlights. But one thing you can actually pick out from highlights how, again, whether the player is good in terms of close control or good on the ball or good at, again, escaping tight spaces. I think he showed he has those. But if we're signing, what I've always preached, if we're signing central midfielders, we should be looking at players who are capable of producing double digits output in terms of in terms of, again, assist numbers. He's still young. Maybe the club is signing him because he's a prospect. At 18, he's still very young, and there's a chance if he joins Chelsea that improves. I don't know whether the club intends to make him part of the first team, given how good the people are saying he's good, or maybe send him out on loan to continue his development. That I don't want that process. If we're paying anything again, if we're paying anything in millions to sign a young star, if they're good enough, if they what the hype that again, we should just bring him into the fold, and maybe not go to too many of them if we don't have space for them. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Let's look at his numbers here. I think I had it open somewhere else. Do I still have it? This is still about him, and this is still about him also. Andrey Santos to Chelsea. Here we go. Chelsea will pay around 17 million pounds. So yeah, what we're seeing on transfer market here, which is 5 million euros, which is around 3.5 or so in pounds, a million pounds. So yeah, if we're paying 17 million, chances that again he'd be joining the first team and will be part of the first team. Just quickly, I really do want to look at his numbers. Let me see if I can find that here. Andrey Santos stats. Let's see how well he's done. Again, I'm not going to judge him by his numbers, given that he's still just 18. Like I said, chances that if he joins Chelsea, he does even better at the club. And thank you so much for 43 likes. But again, it's 78 votes on the poll. So why, again, why is it that the likes barely made it beyond half of the votes we have on the poll here? Just quickly, Andrey Santos stats. I really want us to look at that, but let me catch up with what we have in the chat already. Yeah, I think I've read that. Yeah, and his recent form, I don't think is worth paying that much money. First, he should work on regaining his form and doing as well as he did when he newly joined us. Maybe we'll start talking about it then. Big up our Chelsea perspective and everyone. Been a while. Yes, it's been a minute, brother. Again, I know bills don't pay themselves, and we work again to pay bills. So thank you so much for finding the time to join the show, bro. I hope to speak with you soon. Yep, miss you, mate. Again, glad you've been here to fill the void. Footage of Santos looks a tough tackler. Yeah, it looks like he's a tough tackler too. Good dribbler. And again, makes some good runs. Let's see what happens. Let's see again. My friend Lola here. Merry Christmas in advance. Coach in Blues. Hi, you two. And I hope you're doing well. And Mario Minto, nice to see you, brother. Come on, people, like the video and stop being the breaking coaches' heart. Yeah, I get it. Yes, Mario Minto fighting for me. Yes, I'm going to talk about, let me just talk about that in a bit. It just doesn't make any sort of sense that we have 78 again votes on the poll, and we're barely making half of that in terms of likes. Just 44 likes, people. Come on, it takes equally. It takes again a second to participate in the poll, and it takes equally just again a second or even half a second to drop a like on the stream too, which helps us reach more people. Yeah, but again, I have to agree the likes are improving, even though we haven't streamed consistently for a while because of my health. Again, but I appreciate the likes already. So thank you so much. Let's see, and if you want me to put up any poll, let me know. I'd be glad to do that. I'd be glad to do that to get the opinion of those in the chat. Saying hello to Mary Minto. Hi, Declare. I hope you're doing well, brother. My brother from Australia, Declare. Nice to see you. Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone that celebrates Christmas. Again, and I wish you all a prosperous New Year in advance. And definitely tomorrow we'll start doing the giveaway, which is the 150 budgeted for the Roman Abramovich tribute contest. It looks like the contestants wearing that series. So I'm going to break it into 3 and give that money away to people for Christmas. Yeah, so thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing this guy at Chelsea. The hype from the highlights that I've seen looks like he will be a fine player for us. Let's see what happens. I wanted to look at his numbers, really. Just give me 1 second. I wanted to look at his numbers at 18 to see how well he's done. But it's looking like the kid is a real deal, and I hope that's the case. Let's do this so we can see his numbers here. Okay, let's see. Give me a minute. Okay, Andrey. I don't know if it's pronounced Andrey Santos. Is it Santos or Santos? But I'm just going to say Andrey Santos. Let's look at his numbers for Serie B. Okay, Brazil Serie B. He played 33 matches, scored 8 goals, no assists at all. Again, for 2021, 1 goal. For what team is this? For Vasco da Gama. Then Serie A in 2022, 2 matches, 0 goals. 2021, 1 goal. And Copa de Brazil, 1 match. Again, he's just 18. So I'm not expecting too much from him. But again, he's a prospect. So the club is signing him for his potentials, what it may well be capable of achieving at the club. I see matures as a player, but like Staff said there, he's a tough tackler. But we'll see. Again, if you're in the chat, if you have anything you want us to talk about, go ahead, drop it there, and we will talk about it again if you want. What's up, bro? Again, Liam. Anyways, going now. Merry Christmas, coach, and everybody else. A 20 million reported fee for Santos. Again, that's a lot of money, which means to me, I if you look at that, I say I don't think the club are signing him to loan him out. I think they're signing him to be part of the first team. That's a lot of money. Let's see again if you have any question or anything else you want us to talk about, drop it in the chat. We have a few minutes to round up, and if it's just me and I haven't recovered fully to keep going again that long. Let me see what else we have here. We should start including these players in the first team, no matter the age. Mbappe was 17 when he joined Monaco. Yes, and again, if we're saying it's a process, and we've all, some of us have recognized that it's going to be a long process. If we really believe in the process, if we really, again, want to see those, young talents we signed to, again, we have to have a path for them into the first team, which means we have to start integrating them now. And we don't actually have, again, our squad is really thin, if we're being honest. We have a squad, a bloated squad that aren't balanced. We're thin in the defensive area. In the midfield area, we have a lot of players, a lot of number, you could say wingers, a lot of number 8s, but some of which doesn't have, again, they don't complement each other. Too many like-for-like players. We need players to offer something different. And I think this kid will do. Chukwuemeka probably would do Casadei. I hate the rumors I'm hearing that he may well leave on loan. So let's see what the club does. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, again, Omari Hutchinson also is one player I want to see, again, us start using, again, more often than just talk about him being part of the squad, more often than, what's his name, Graham Potter singing him praises. I want to start seeing him at the club. Okay, something else I'm seeing here from my brother Leon Lane, and I want to read it again. I want to talk about it. Something that's concerned. So if you have anything else that I've been concerned about, but it's a good thing to see. From what Liam Lane shared with me, it doesn't look like we have a problem there. But because that would have been a serious issue for him, a serious issue for the performance of the team overall. Again, I'm going to say, if you're in the chat, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It just doesn't make sense that we have 80 votes and just 45 likes, but still, I appreciate the 45 likes. That's not easy at all. So before I look at the report that Liam Lane shared with me, I wanted to talk about how reports emerged that some players are beginning to get frustrated and are not happy. Aren't happy with Graham Potter, his approach, and him switching up the formation too many times, which I didn't believe then. But from, again, it looks like this report here debunks that. It says the opposite of what was out there. I think yesterday, actually, this says, again, I am told that the players have formed a good relationship with Graham Potter and have been enjoying his training methods, again, albeit a very intense and tough. I think we need to see that, maybe because we have a couple of players who seem to struggle when we play against teams that play high octane football. So yeah, and I'm going to subscribe to this Chelsea Express. Actually, they seem to carry some good news there. Yeah, I understand that makes me happy. I support Chelsea is the club I support, and I wouldn't want, again, a camp where a lot of problems exist in the team. I want harmony. That way we'll be able to achieve results, because without harmony, we have a problem at hand. No matter how well we train, we won't see them perform as a unit. Same as Chukwuemeka speak, we have to move on two players to include both Santos and Fofana. We already have 25 Broja again on the 21 list. Okay, the question is who moves on? Ziyech most likely will leave the club, or who else moves on? I think we should. Yeah, if this is really a process, and we're serious about the project of integrating these players that will pay that much money for, we should look at those that don't want to be at the club and let them go, and again make way for the new generation, because we don't want to again try to be selfish, try to keep certain players, and at the same time sign these new players, these exciting talents, and not make way for them. I'm concerned about that, really. Cheers, boys. Again, good to know there's still young talents out there interested in playing for Chelsea. Hope it lasts. I'm sure you're talking about Datro Fofana. And I'm going to say this, how I love saying his name, David Datro Fofana. It sounds delicious for me, as it sounds delicious to me to say Didier Drogba's name. I think he's a fine player. I've taken my time to research him. But I'd still like to see him play 90 minutes in the game. I don't know where I can find that game. But from what I've seen, he's good on the ball, good close control. He has pace. He has intelligence. His finishes aren't about power, but finesse. And that's one thing, again, that I prioritize, again, when looking at attackers. And more importantly, all the plays from his highlights, multiple highlights that I've watched, he's that player, again, that, again, scoring the goal isn't always about him. He always looks to pick out teammates for a better position. And I like that. In the case, that's why I'm saying if we got him, I think we should forget getting, what's his name? We should forget our interest on getting Mokoko. Why bring him? Broja will still come back, and then we'll have Mokoko. We'll still have, again, Broja, and we'll still have Datro Fofana. We'll still have Aubameyang. If anything, to me, I could be wrong. I'm going to say this again. Maybe I haven't watched him long enough. I get the Bashway vibe when watching. I got the Bashway vibe when watching Mokoko highlights. I could be wrong. Maybe I need to pay attention again, or maybe I watched the highlights with so much expectation, and as such wasn't satisfied with what I see in turn, maybe. But that's, by the way, yeah. Let's see. I hope it lasts. Again, if they do well, that's the whole thing. Cheers. Again, let me say, have a great, again, gents and lads, again, time for work. Catch you later. Yes, again, bills don't pay themselves, and I understand that's totally. Let's see, again, ignore those reports, media, like, again, destabilize CFC. Yeah, I think that's a good one. So let's see what else we have here. Take care, Mario. If you're in the chat, anything else you want us to talk about, please do let me know. I really would want us to talk about it. If you have any topic you would want us to talk about. Ziyech and Zakaria to go. Cassidy has to go on loan. Being foreign cannot be listed as a homegrown or B list. Wow, that's a disappointment, really. I think that kid is good enough to actually be part of the first team. He has an eye for goal and is very physical too. Zakaria has to go, really. Again, some people are still calling for the club to give him a chance. I think it's surplus to requirement, even though I'm not the coach. That's how I see it. Ziyech, yep, most likely will leave the club because he's looking for a game time. Again, if you're in the chat, if you have anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and shoot for it. And we will talk about it. We've talked about Fofana's injury. We've talked about Broja's injury. Fofana is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, I'm hearing. So yeah, that's a long period of time. We didn't pay that much money to have him, stay out for that much and still say again he'll be coming back soon. No, that's not soon enough for me. Broja, after going under the knife, I'm not sure if this mentions how long he's going to be out for. Let me see if there's anything like that. Hakim Ziyech salary is an issue. Just 1 second here. Armando Broja underwent a successful, but nothing there says anything about his about how long he's going to be out. Okay, let me see if there's anything else on random. we will look at. I'm going to open this just quickly. I want to respond to a message here. Let's see. Right, again, Wesley Fofana, nothing bad. Champions are not even 1 month. We're back to be, again, yeah, I hope you recover soon. I want you back, Wesley Fofana. Let me see, where's Kai Havertz's best position? I don't think it's necessary to even talk about that. Useless, again, unless a third foreign player goes no Casada. Yeah, I think, how much did you actually pay for him? Maybe a third foreign player may leave. We don't know. Again, Inter Milan wants to lower its payroll, and 2 top players could be sold. The first was then sell them freeze, who has a price of 60 million. Yep, again, I think the Zeldon Freeze is one player I really want us to look at. Let me bring up his numbers. I think he'd be a good rotating player with Reece James. We did look at his numbers the last time we talked about him being a good competition for Reece James. I think Reece didn't beat him that much. I think Reece only beat him with a number of assists. He's one player I would like to see at Chelsea Football Club. Let me get his statistics here so we can look at it. Zeldon Freeze. The Zeldon Freeze stats. Let's see that here. Okay, for the Zeldon Freeze, let's look at 2021, 2022, or what year was it? Okay, that's for Netherlands. Even for Netherlands, he has some good, not really good numbers for Netherlands. Let's look at Inter Milan. For 2021, 22, he played 33 matches, scored 5 goals and 4 assists, which is, again, doesn't differ that, which is nearly the same number as the numbers that Reece James has achieved the same year. I don't know why some people think Dumfries isn't good enough for Chelsea. I think he'll provide good competition for James. Even if James is the better of the 2 players, James cannot play every game. We should rotate them, get one player to play again half of the game and the other half of the games. Or if the manager feels like one player is better suited for a particular game, select that player for that particular game. So I think Dumfries is good enough. Playing again for 21-22, 33 matches, 5 goals, 4 assists. That's not a bad number. And this year already, 15 matches for Inter Milan, 1 goal, 2 assists. Again, he's not there yet with given given his overall number the past season. I think he would be a good signing for us if we're serious about it. For 60 million, I don't know what the club would want to do. Ziyech and Zakaria are again should go. Ziyech, for the reason that, again, he needs to leave to go where the team will accommodate him and he gets to be deployed in his preferred position where he'd get enough game time as he should. Zakaria, again, I'm going to say something, repeating myself really, but again, it's worth the repeating. The fact is, if Zakaria, if he's that good, why would Juventus consider letting him go? And why would they consider selling him? Again, how much we're hearing the buy option is. I don't think it's too much money, but that's by the way though. But let me see again for Zakaria. Yes, again, how many games did he get to play at the World Cup? Not that many. To me, that shows again something isn't quite right. If Graham Potter maybe feels like he will get the best out of him. I want to see it happen, really. But that's by the way. Let's see anything else. Just quickly, let me respond to a message I thought I already did. Apparently, I have not. And I think with that, I think we've come to the natural end of the show because there's nothing else to talk about except if I see there's something that opened here that I wanted to talk about. Just quickly, yeah, there's nothing else. I'm not seeing anything new. Luis Enrique enters the battle for what? I'm not sure. Mason Mount back in training today. That's a good update because he had an injury. Boehly has been forming relations in Qatar, even Neymar's camp. Really? Let's see what happens. Andrey Santos to Chelsea is here we go. We've talked about that. Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea already completed the Nkunku deal. They will sign Datro Fofana from Moldy The deal is in the final stages, and it could be completed very soon. So that's a good one there. We don't want to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not a player that I think will come to Chelsea back soon. Armando, we hope to see you back soon. Anything else? I think with that, I think again the best club in the world at this was again okay. Chelsea met with agents and Andrey Santos family. Newcastle were pushing, and City wanted to try because they followed him for a long time. And I'm happy we're the ones getting him. Andrey Santos to Chelsea. Here we go. Chelsea will pay around £17 million. Again, anything else? With that, we've come to the natural end of the show. And I want to thank you guys for finding the time to join the show. I think it's been an enjoyable show. Good debate with IBZ and Tobago on the panel. I enjoyed it. Thank you to, again, Arasad Itafa. Thank you so much for finding time to join the show. Thank you to Star for finding time to join the show. Thank you to Mario Minto. Thank you to my brother and friend, Fal Diazo, aka Boogeyman. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. And to Captain of the House, again, Liam Lane, thanks so much. Michael Oche, thanks so much. And Declan, thank you for finding the time to join the show. And who else here? Kim So, and every other person, Steve Chelsea, that found time to join the show. I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you so much. And again, I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. We're back and we'll be streaming consistently. And don't forget, we have a giveaway tomorrow. We do that for 3 consecutive days at $50 each, to away again to show appreciation to the fans. And quickly, Stamford Bridge tonight, featuring the new letters and a badge. Again, that's beautiful. Let me see if I can show that to you before we call it a day. An update from is that do we have a new badge? Really, I don't know. I didn't know we changed. Did we change the badge? Is that what you're saying? But it again, let me just show the picture to those that are watching, and then we can call it a day. Quickly, let me do this. Yep. Chelsea finally confirmed again. Yeah, that's old news, but it's on the update screen. That's why it's showing there. Just quickly, let me see. If you could elaborate a bit, I'm not sure what I'm looking at there, really. Just quickly. I'm not sure what I should be looking at. Is it the crest looks the same for me, the blue background. I see Christmas lights there. Yeah, but the statement on the tweet says says something about the new it says so, let me look at it again. It says something about the new badge. Let me see quickly. It's the new badge of the trophy. Oh, okay. Now badges of the trophy. Okay, now I get what you were saying. Yeah, again, it looks good. Let me see if it's showing now. But the Christmas picture, lights and everything looks beautiful there. Yeah, again, it's beautiful. Yeah. Okay, now I see it. The trophy's here. Yeah. Again, the Christmas lights looking beautiful. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for an excellent stream. And again, thank you to my brother and friend Liam Lane. I cannot appreciate you enough, and to everyone else who was in the chat. Let me see, Glenn just joined. Here's again, yep, here's Glenn here saying thanks for the stream, guys. Thank you so much to everyone. Liam Lane, again, if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. And again, with that, we've come to the end of the show, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show. Thanks so much. God bless us all, and bye.